For our last exercise with functions, let's rewrite the calculator program so that it is actually a function itself, and then we call the calculator from the main program. That's the proper way to write the calculator so that you can use it in other programs rather than the one that you've written it into. In other words, writing the calculator in int main means it only works in that one program. Writing the calculator program as a function means that you can take that function and put it in any program that needs the calculator. So let's get started. The return value for the calculator function will be a double since we're going to work with double values. We'll call the function calc just to make it a simple thing to type. Its parameters will be two operands and a char operator. We open the function body, backspace back over to put our cursor in the right place, and the first thing we want to do is create a variable to store the result of our calculation. So we'll call that double result. Then all we need is a series of if-else-if statements looking at the value of the operator passed into the function. So that, for example, if the operator is equal to a asterisk or star, then we want to return operand 1 times operand 2. And that's all we have to do for each of the possible operations. So we'll just continue on. Return operand 1 divided by operand 2. Else if operator is equal to addition or plus. Return operand 1 plus operand 2. And then finally, if the operator is equal to subtraction, return operand 1 minus operand 2. Close off the function definition. As you see, the editor is having a little problem with my placement of curly braces, so I'm going to move this curly brace down to the beginning of the function on its own line so that our alignment is a little more normal looking. Now we need to call the function in the program to see how it works, so we're going to write a simple little program that uses the calc function. We'll create two operands, op1 and op2, as doubles. We'll create a variable to store our operator, which is a char. Then we'll write a little prompt, enter expression right here. The expression will be written operand 1 followed by the operator followed by operand 2. Now, because we want to run the calculator over and over again and not just call it every time, we're going to put it in a loop. But we need to do something kind of different with the loop. We're going to have the loop run non-stop or infinitely, using true as both the relational expression and the return value of the relational expression. Inside the loop, we'll just write out the result. We'll put a little prompt to let the user know the result is coming and call the function calc with operand 1, operand 2, and the operator, followed by an end line so that it'll go down to the next line. And then we prompt the user to enter a new expression inside the loop. So we'll just copy and paste that code in. Scoot our C in over a little bit. Close the loop, and that's all we have to do. Now, before we run the program, let me explain a little bit more about this while true loop. To make the program stop correctly, we would have to perform a technical operation called parsing on the input. Parsing is a little bit too difficult for this course, so instead of doing that, I'm just going to have the program run all the time, and then the user can hit Control-C. We could put that in the prompt if we wanted to tell them to stop, but we won't do that just to save a little bit of time and space. So an enter expression prompt will be displayed constantly until the user hits Control-C to stop the program. All right, so let's give it a shot. Hit build and run. Ask us to enter an expression. We'll do a simple one, 2 plus 2, 4. And it loops back and asks us to enter an expression again. Let's try a little bit harder one. 23 divided by 2 is 11.5. That's right. Let's try some big numbers. 1,234 times 4,321. That takes us beyond what we can see in a normal double, so we get a scientific notation value, which is fine. And let's just do a simple subtraction. 234 minus 456, so we get a negative value, negative 222. And when we want to stop the program, we just hit Control-C, and that stops it. So that concludes our explorations into writing functions. And this last example shows very clearly the advantage, or at least one of the advantages of functions, and that's being able to reuse code. By writing the calculator as a function, I can take this code by copy and pasting it and putting it into any program where I need a calculator. Of course, this calculator is not all that sophisticated, but you get the idea. So once again, functions are extremely important to your C++ programming education, and I encourage you to explore creating and using functions often as you go through your C++ programming education.